What's up, YTPC? Uncle Willie coming to you on this Tatuesday from the Mobile Lounge. Tatuesday. Tatuaje Avion. I'm not going to get into it because I know y'all don't care about cigars. Some of you don't anyway. Today, I had someone, well, a couple times, I've had someone inquire about a lighter. So I'm going to go over a few lighters that I typically use for pipes, and then a couple that I use for lighting cigars. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the ones that I don't care for. And that would be the Zippo type lighters. Not necessarily Zippo brand, but Zippo type because of the fuel. I don't like the taste. I don't like the taste in my cigars or the taste in my pipe from the Zippo. But here's a pipe lighter. The Zippo has the pipe insert made by Zippo, and you hold it like so, and you suck through that hole to draw down into your bowl to light your pipe. I'm not fond of that taste, that flavor you get from that. And it also comes with the Nimrod. Same concept. The flame is directional, is an up. It's not really directional. I didn't mean to use that word yet. But same thing, you have to suck it through the bottom and you still get that flavor. You can smell it as you light it. Plus this lighter is dirty. It gets dirty around that and it gets all over your hands and you smell like Zippo fluid. But it's cool. If the wind wasn't blowing, you would see how easy it lights like that. This is like a vintage type lighter. My uncle had one when I was a kid and I used to love it because he smoked cigarettes and that's what he'd always flip it out. No flames got me. Light his cigarette. I just thought it was the coolest thing. I smoked cigarettes most of my life. I quit 10 years ago this month. But I used a Zippo exclusively for cigarettes, and when I saw this, I bought one. And I didn't care how much it cost, I wanted it because it reminded me of my uncle. Rest in peace, Uncle Sonny. We call him Slick. So, you can use Zippo fluid or Ronson fluid. They're both made by the same company. Zippo owns Ronson, so there you have it. Now, moving right along with the butane, but it is still a Zippo. It has the butane insert that I bought separate, like 15 bucks off Amazon. There's 2 or 3 different types. I think this is the Z Plus, I'm not sure. But it works very well. And you got your Zippo type lighter to be cool. Let's face it, we all want to be cool. So now next up, we're going to jump into butane lighters. And the thing about butane lighters is when you get your butane, you want to make sure it's made in the UK. This says made in England, so I'm good to go. UK makes the best butane. It has 0 impurities. You can get butane from Walmart or Home Depot or Harbor Freight or any of those type companies, Granger, whatever. If it's made in America, it's got impurities in it and it will clog the jets in your lighters. And people will be like, I've been using this stuff for all my life or whatever. If it works, then good. I don't recommend it because of the impurities that are in it. This has 0 impurities. You can get Zycar, Lotus, Bugatti, all of those top brands. This was $7. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it was $6.95, and it's 13 ounces. You know how many lighters you fill with that thing? Hundreds. Next up, when you're filling your lighter, don't shake the can. Do not shake the can, especially if it's not UK. If you shake it, all you're doing is putting air, mixing air with your butane. So then when you go to fill it, you're putting air into your lighters. You don't want air in your lighters, excessive air in your lighters. So when you get ready to fill your lighter, you want to make sure it's empty, completely empty. So you purge it. What is purging? That is getting all the air out of your lighter before you refill it. It's a simple process, very easy, and I recommend one of these tools. They're just so easy to manipulate and work with. They have a flat screwdriver on it. You flip it around, it's a Phillips screwdriver. You might have to take your lighter apart for whatever reason. These little tools right there work excellent for it. But the best thing about this, see that hole right there? If you look at the bottom of this tube, it's got a hole in it. So when you're getting ready to refill your lighter, you can take and push this on there. I think you could hear that. Air is coming through and coming out of that hole right there, and that purges your lighter. It gets all your fluid out, all the air out. You just keep doing it until you hear no air coming out of it. Then you're good to go. Now, next thing, before you fill your lighter, turn your adjustment valve all the way down. Turn it down to the lowest setting. Then fill your lighter. Take your can, do not shake it. Take your can upside down and hold it for 2 or 3 seconds. And if it has a window in it like this, where you can see, tilt it to get the air bubble all the way up to the top right there. Then hold it in again for another 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it sit for a second. I didn't get it on there right, so don't. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see that it's full. That's about all you want in there. And then once you get it filled like that, just let it sit for a minute or 2 before you try to light it. So I'm just gonna sit this to the side while I go on. And just let it sit, because that air coming out of it is under pressure. Doot, 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 doot. Pressure. Oh, sorry. It's under pressure, so when it comes out, it'll actually freeze. You'll notice sometimes it freezes around your filling port. That's fine. Just let it freeze. Just wait. Leave it for a minute or 2. Let everything equalize back to the same temperature and all. Then you can adjust your lighter and use it as needed. So, a little dry here. The lighter in question from the other day, my buddy Outlaw asked about it. So Outlaw, this is the one you were asking about. It's made by Caribe. It's in the old boy style from I Am Corona. It had, you lift the little top up, and now with it being breezy, it probably won't light so well, but there you go. You light it, and you'll see that with the butane, your flame is sort of directional. It's because that it's under pressure. Sorry guys. It's under pressure, so that way when you light it, it's pushing it out in the direction of where the hole is in the lighting of it. This is the Karibi Mikazuki model. Mikazuki. It's shorter, fatter a little bit, replaceable flint. Zycar makes one similar to this, same design. They aren't that good from what I hear. Now I'm just going by what I've read and what I've heard from other people. I wouldn't buy the Zycar one because they're like 50, 60 bucks. There's a lot of issues with them. This I have had no trouble with. I've had it almost a year, and this Karibi I've had for almost 2 years, no issues whatsoever. This is Smoking Pipes logo. This was the Smoking Pipes insignia on the Karibi. This is the Kabuto. I got it written down. This is the Karibi Kabuto, and the difference in it, as you can see, it's taller, slimmer, but it has what I call a bat wing that you can flip that up with your thumb. And the same thing, it's directional. It pushes it out to the side, so when you tilt it down into your pipe, it's pushing the flame down. Unlike the Zippo, the flame just wants to go up because it's natural flame rises. This is actually being pushed down, makes it easier to light your pipe as you draw in through your pipe. It draws the flame down into your bowl to light your pipe consistently around. The Zippo to me is hit or miss, because when you light it, of course it lights and it's pretty much windproof, but the wind is just blowing it around and you're trying to suck it and you got to take it, and it's just a pain in the butt for me. If you like it, carry on. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I don't like it. So there are the two old boy style lighters. And like I said, there's a different manufacturers. Peterson makes a lighter like this. Sillums, ST DuPont. A lot of manufacturers make a lighter similar in this. This as well has the Zippo, or the flint that goes in there. You just unscrew this, replace the Zippo, the flint. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Zippo. These lighters now, when you go to fill them, if you take your pipe tool and use this part, take that right there and unscrew it and take that screw out. When you take that screw out, this bottom will come off. You can put a flint inside there and hold and carry it, and you'll have an extra flint in here, and it makes it easier to fill because you're making it, without this, you're getting right onto the filling port. And for the top of the butane, when you push it on, it will accept it easier without this little screw in there. And then you just put it back on, and you don't have to torque it down. Once you get it down in there, when you get it snug, you just give it a little, and it stays in perfectly. You had no problem with it. And speaking of extra flints and whatnot, I didn't go over this, but if you're going to use a Zippo, buy these little inserts. They're like 5 of them for 10 bucks. You get them on Amazon. You flip that up, put your fluid in, put it back down. It'll keep it from evaporating. It'll last like 1 or 2 days longer than usual without this little plastic insert. And it has a little area right there you can put an extra flint in there, so that way you're good to go. Your fluid lasts longer. You got a place for your flint, where the other cotton insert in the bottom, you lift it up, you can put flints in there as well, which you probably already know that if you carry a Zippo. So there are the Karibi Mikazuki and the Kabuto. Next up is an IM Corona. This is called the Pipe Master. It's got the ignition on the side there, so you do it with your thumb. It has a onboard pipe tool. It has a tamper. Just like with the old boy, if you pull it out a little bit, then turn it, it'll lock into place. Or if you keep it like that, you pull it out, and it's got the pick where you can clean everything out of your pipe. And it just goes back in, sits down in there flush, and it don't come out. I've carried this in my pocket, and that stays in there just like it does with an old boy. It's friction fit, it stays in there, no problem. And you got this flame that's offset, and it's directional, so when you go to, it's already pushing it down because it's under pressure. Sorry guys, I'm sorry. So you have those couple. Then most pipe lighters are gonna light to the side, so you're able to push them down. This is a Mr. Brog. This is a Lotus Vertigo. Honest. This is the one I called machine washable because it went through the wash. It was in my pants pocket. My wife washed it. It has the onboard tools as well. A little scoop, poker, and a pick. All fold right up into adjustment. All of them are flame adjustable. One of my favorites is the Ratrace. It lifts open, and you can take your finger there, manipulate the striker. Replaceable flint. If you can notice, this here will slide back, lock into place, drop your flint right in there, and you'll see on the back side that little button right there. If you take a little screwdriver or something and press down on that little button, it goes back up and puts pressure on your flint wheel. When it comes to flints, I use Karibi. Karibi flints. They're a little softer than the Zippo. They light easier, and they work in all flint lighters. They'll work in your Zippo or your Karibi or your Ratrace, whatever you want to use it in. Don't know if I mentioned the Bic, but the Bic is the most versatile pipe lighter there is. This is the best lighter for anything you need lit. From candles to campfires. Depending on how you turn your finger to light it, you don't get burnt. Use it for your pipes. One size flame. Back in the 70s, they used to be adjustable, but now because they're guaranteed for 1,000 lights. So they got it set at the right height that it's gonna last 1,000 lights. Have I ever counted 1,000 lights? No. But I know they last forever until you're outside and you want to smoke a cigarette and you can't get one lit. Then you have the Clipper. This is a very good lighter. It's in the same category to me as the Bic, except this is refillable. As long as you don't lose it. Flint is changeable. There's nowhere to keep an extra flint on board, so if you run out of flint, you just have to wait till you get one. The striker wheel is pentagon shape, which means 5-sided. You can use it for a striker to light a fire if you're out of fluid, to change the fluid. And if you partake in the left-hand cigarettes, you can actually go online. You probably on YouTube, and they'll show you how to use this in rolling yourself a left-hand cigarette. So there you have it. This thing is set at one height, but when you turn it upside down, when you invert it, the flame gets bigger. So you got, it's under pressure now. Doot, 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 doot. It's under pressure because it's been sitting in the sun, but the flame isn't usually that high. But when you turn it down, the flame gets bigger. So that way it gets more heat into the bowl of whatever choice you have that you're trying to light. And I think that covered everything. Now I'll show you a couple cigar lighters. This is a Firebird by Calibri, single flame, fuel window, and it's almost out, but it's got a single flame. You can hear it, you can't see it. My old trusty New World, which I have, that is what I got all my lighters in, a New World box. This is a single flame as well. You might be able to see that since I got it up against the black background there. Single flame, I prefer single flame with torch when I'm lighting my cigars. This one is, you probably can't see it, maybe. It's a double flame that goes up into a triangle, and it's a double flame that turns into a single. And then you can just take and toast your cigar. What I like about this one is it's got a little right there, and it'll stay on. You don't have to hold the button. Then when you're finished, you just take that and flip it over to the side and it goes off. I had one of these made by Honest. I kept it outside and it sat out there for over a year. It was my outdoor lighter for my cigars. It finally, this area got messed up where it wouldn't stay on, or it wouldn't turn off, and it used to run out of fluid. I burnt my table out there because I thought I turned it off. I set it down, it was still running, and it ended up messing up. I threw it away. I got this one free with some cigars. This Drew Estate talks about the 20 acre cigar that they came out with last year. And then it's got the Drew Estate emblem on the front there. So there you have it. I think I covered all the lighters that are important. Like I said, this is one of my favorites. I love this lighter. It's just so easy to open, light. It's just, and it holds a lot of fluid. Just a great lighter. It's made by Rattray. Think they are sold through tobacco pipes, and I think I paid 75 or 80 bucks for that. Most lighters in there, the Caribbees were 80, the I Am Corona was, everything was about 80 bucks. So to get a really nice pipe lighter, you're looking at 75, 80 bucks, even 100. If you want to get the I Am Corona Old Boy, the cheapest I found them is like 115, 125 bucks a piece. I just can't spend that much more for a lighter that I know I can buy for the Caribbean. I've had no issues whatsoever with it. So I think if you go that route, you're going a good route for yourself. So now I'm going to see if YouTube lets y'all comment, because on my last couple videos I had a guy, his comments kept disappearing again, just like they did with some other comments. So we'll see how this goes. And remember, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And with that being said, until next time, you know what to do. Stuff them and puff them.